Hello everyone, my name is Stanley St. Rose, and today we're going to be talking about Killings, written by Andre Dubus. Now, before I go into summary analysis of this work, please remember to leave a like, subscribe, and or comment so that the channel can continue to grow. With this short story, basically what happens is that we meet a grieving family. Their son, Frank, has been killed by a guy who lives in their town by the name of Richard Strout. Now, Richard is a guy who's, he does whatever he wants. He was married to a girl by the name of Mary Strout. Well, they're married. And after, they get separated, Frank comes in and he starts to date Mary. And then when Stroud comes back into the picture, when Richard comes back into the picture, he's trying to get close to Mary so that he can be with his kids, so that he can be with his family. But to Richard, Frank is in the way. And so what Richard does is that he kills Frank. So he kills Frank in cold blood, and he's not hiding from this. He pretty much lets everyone know. He's like, I killed him. The cops can come arrest me. I'm not hiding from this. I killed Frank. Pretty much, he was getting in the way of my family and I, because Richard wanted to get close to his kids and his wife, his ex-wife, and maybe try to build something back up. But Frank was dating Mary, was dating Richard's ex-wife, and he was in the way. And so in Richard's mind, the best thing was to kill Frank, and he kills Frank, and he goes to jail, but he gets out on bond. And that's what causes the massive problem within this short story, is that Richard is out on bond, and he's walking out. He's going to stores, working, living, enjoying himself in this town where the grieving family lives, and Matt and Ruth, who are Frank's parents, they have to watch this murderer walk around town, eat, sleep, drink, and have fun while their son is dead. And slowly, this wonderful family, it starts to crumble because of Strout. And so, you start to see, Ruth, the mother, she stops going out because she doesn't want to see Richard. She doesn't want to be around him. She doesn't want to see her son's killer, murderer over and over again. So she ends up, staying more and more at home. Matt, on the other hand, the father, at first it kind of seemed like he didn't want revenge, but he definitely wanted revenge. First he was saying, like, he started to carry a gun around, and he said, like, okay, let me just catch him doing something. Let me just catch him. Let him attack me. Let him do something so that I could kill him in self-defense and kind of like get away with murder, and kill him and get away with murder. So that was Matt's mindset. Because he wanted to avenge his son. He wanted to get revenge. He wanted to kill Richard. Now, if Richard was in jail, if Richard was locked up, he probably wouldn't, had felt so strongly. But the fact that he's out on bail, living his best life, while his son, the fact that Richard is out on bail and enjoying his best life, and that his son Frank is underground, is something that's really tough for Matt and his family. And slowly, we see this battle between Matt and his own morals. They just start to get worse and worse, to the point where Matt, along with his best friend Willis, they pretty much plan out a way in which to kill Richard. And so during this one night, they kidnap Richard. They make him pack up his apartment, make it look like, he was going away or skipping out on bail. They make him drive out into these woods. They carefully plan this murder out. They carefully plan kind of like this escape scene out for Richard, make it look like an escape scene. At first, Matt was saying, we're making you leave town, we're making you go away, but no, it was a murder. They end up killing him, shooting him, killing him, and trying to get rid of the evidence as best as they can. And then Matt goes home, and pretty much everybody goes back to life, and the story ends like that. Matt going back home to his wife, Richard Stroud being dead, and we kind of get a sense of revenge. A father avenging his dead son, killing his dead son's murder. But in my perspective, I think that killings just it's when you think about it, when you think about killings, you think about the short story. I think Stroud pretty much kills this entire family. He destroys the entire Fowler family, because there's no way that they're going to get away with this killing, even though that Matt did all the best that he can to make it look like Stroud running away. I think that his family is in danger because now he's killed someone. He is proven to be a murderer, the same type of murderer that Stroud is, that Richard was, because he was willing to kill for his family, and Richard was willing to kill for his family. So let's just go into the analysis and just really get a deeper meaning of this work. First and foremost, you have to think about love here. Richard only killed Frank because of love. He wanted to get back together with his wife. He wanted to be with his kids, but Frank was always in the way. So because of how strongly his emotions was, his love was for his family, Richard believed that the best way to be with them was to kill Frank. So he kills Frank. And in that same light, in that same token, Matt was like, the only way I can save my family, I can stop my family from grieving and stop looking at my son's murderer in the face, is by killing the murderer. So for love, these men kill men. Richard killed Frank because his love and he wanted to be with his family, and Matt kills Richard because he wanted to save his family and avenge his son. So it says a lot about what people are willing to do for love and for family. Another thing I would like to point out is kind of like the moral battle. Richard pretty much he'd accepted. He knew that what he was doing. He knew. So when you look at the morality and the choices of Richard, first and foremost, Richard proves that he knew what he was doing was wrong. He knew that he was killing another man. He knew that that's not what you're supposed to do. But he kills Frank anyway, and he knew the consequences, that the cops are going to come for him and arrest him and take him to jail. And he does it anyway. He kills Frank anyway. And the same thing goes for Matt. Matt knows that it's wrong. Matt knows that, that if he gets caught, it's curtains for him. But he still kills Stroud and goes back home to his wife. Now there's this terrible secret that Matt and Ruth and Willis and this Fowler family are going to have to hide because they've committed murder, and especially since everybody knows that Richard killed Frank. When they start looking into Richard's disappearance, you can definitely assume that the first people they're going to look at is Matt and Ruth and the Fowler family, which pretty much that actuality will destroy the Fowler family household, because when you dig deep enough, you're probably going to find some clues that lead people to believe, or lead one to believe, that Matt killed Richard. Murders are just, they're going to be discovered. They're going to be discovered some way or another, whether it is through the blood, through fingerprints, through something. Murders they're going to be discovered, and you're going to have to face the music. So killings, in many ways is a story about love, about different perspectives, Because Richard wasn't a pure evil guy. He was a guy who wanted to be with his family. He was a guy, he wasn't a career murderer. He was just a guy who wanted to be with his family, but this obstacle was in his way, and he thought that the best way to deal with this obstacle is to kill the obstacle, is to commit murder. And the same thing goes for Matt. He thought the only way that his family could stop grieving, the only way that his family could get some justice, was not relying upon the justice system, was just to take matters into his own hands and kill Richard, and that's what he did. So both of these men, Matt and Richard, they end up killing someone to help their I guess to be with their families or to help their families out, and it ends up putting them in more jeopardy than than anything else. So that is something to think about. That is something to think about. Definitely killings. I think it applies to the title of this work. Killings. I think it applies more to than just the people. I think it applies to definitely to Matt's morality that's being beaten down and killed, because he literally eradicate his own morality and commit murder because he had enough. He wanted justice. Same thing goes for Richard. Richard knew that killing Frank was a bad thing. That's why he ultimately gave himself up. But he pretty much didn't listen to his conscience or listen to his morals. He just kills Frank. And Matt killed him, and the bloodshed never stopped. And also, both of these families, the Stroud family and the Fowler family, they're both on the hot seat, because now the Fowler family are going to have to live with this terrible secret if they don't get discovered and be sent to jail, to prison. And Richard Stroud is just dead. It's just dead. So killings, there are a lot of things dying here, not just people. I think there's morals dying, there's families dying, and also, of course, there's people dying. And also, I mean, Richard killed Frank right in front of his own kids, so that trauma is not something that you just walk away from. So, yeah, you're pretty much your actual dad killing your somewhat of a stepdad or your mom's boyfriend. Yeah. Well, that's my summary and analysis of this work. Please remember to leave a like, subscribe, and or comment, and I'll see you guys in the next video.